This facility originally resided out at Westheimer Airfield post-World War II. It was a barracks during the Navy training facility period during World War II. Somehow the story goes that they broke it up into 3 pieces, put it on the back of a flatbed truck, and brought it out to the campus to use as a facility for our ROTC cadets. So since 1947, it's occupied this area here. The first graduating class was in 1952, and they dedicated the plaque in our flagpole that we have out front. We're moving to facilities on the south side of campus. It used to be a dormitory, but we'll operate out of there for the foreseeable future.
So years ago, there were literally hundreds of people in the program, especially during, the late 40s, early 50s. It was almost mandatory. If you were a male, you were in some ROTC program here at OU. Primarily, the Army's been here for 100 years. They're coming up on their 100th anniversary in 1917. The Navy, their 75th. So we haven't been around quite as long, but obviously a very proud tradition as well.
This is Craddock Hall, and some people walking by actually think that we live here because it looks like a barracks, and that's because it actually was a naval barracks up on North Campus back in the late 40s while we were involved in World War II. So Navy troops training up there on North Campus, where the airport is now, actually did live in this building. And then I believe it was 1947, it was actually relocated to this spot, which the sign outside says. It doesn't say how it was relocated, just it was moved to this spot, where it has stayed ever since then. And a few years later, it was designated the Department of Aerospace Studies, and the first class commission in the early 50s.
Yeah, ROTC is it's a commissioning source that is kind of similar to graduating for officers, and is a 4-year program where we allow cadets to get into the collegiate lifestyle and adjust to college. You have to have a degree to become an officer. And then they adapt over the next 2 years before going to field training after their sophomore year. Field training is similar to boot camp, where they are in a stressful environment, but also opportunities for leadership, demonstrate that leadership. And then their junior and senior year, they will execute the program here to train the next group that comes in after them, the lowerclassmen. So it's a cyclical process, and after 4 years, we feel they're ready for active duty service in the United States Air Force.